Sociology, still social control. But today we want to talk about rewards and sanctions in different societies and organizations. So we start with the meaning of rewards. When you talk about rewards, it's a positive sanction so that someone is praised or is better off. So it's a positive praise, like, oh, this person has done something. You are rewarding somebody based on the fact that he has done well within the society or in a setup. So that is a positive sanction.
Yes.
Then what is sanction itself? Sanctions, these are ways of rewarding or punishing acceptable or unacceptable behavior. So sanctions are ways of rewarding or punishing people based on the fact that they have done something that is unacceptable.
Rewarding and punishing.
Or punishing.
Oh, punishing.
It's a reward, but most of the time we use it for negative reward. Sanction is a negative reward.
Yeah, negative reward. So it's like a
but punishment. For a positive reward it's a positive reward. Reward is a positive sanction.
Okay.
Sanction is a negative reward. I think you get it now.
The link, yeah.
You get it? So if you are being punished for unacceptable behavior, that's a sanction. If you are being rewarded for an acceptable behavior, that is the reward.
Yes.
You get it? That means that's a positive sanction.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's go to rewards and sanctions in schools. So here I go. Schools usually display their rules on notice boards and will have a policy on rewards and sanctions. So the emphasis are on reward that schools find they get a better response by reinforcing positive behavior than punishing negative behavior. For schools, they have to display their rules, their regulations on notice boards so that all students will see.
Yep.
So as soon as this is done, it means there's need for conformity. It means for you to accept those behaviors. So So why do they come up with this social control? They come up with this social control to reinstate social order. Social order is the way in which the schools are being run in a stable manner. So if the school has to be stable, then they need to put on social control. So social control will bring about social order. And for social order to occur in a school, there needs to be rewards and sanctions in the school.
Rewards and sanctions.
In the school. Do you get it?
Mm-hmm.
So the emphasis are on rewards. Most of the time, we talk about mostly schools make emphasis on reward. And what type of reward are we talking about here? They could give star of the week. They could give achievement certificates. They could make, they could report, they could give a positive verbal praise in the assembly. The student passing exams, they could make a letter, a positive letter or note to the parents. Yes. These are what we call positive sanctions or positive rewards. I think it's clear.
Yes.
Then we have the sanctions for negative behavior in the school. This includes looks of disapproval. Sometimes in the class, when the student does something wrong in the class, or maybe it's nothing they do that is wrong for me in the class and making noise, causing interference in the classroom. For me, sometimes when the student causes interference, the way I look at them, I give them a look of disapproval. So it's a sanction. Yes. Like I look at you in a way that you understand that you've done something wrong. That's a negative sanction. Yes. Another way is verbal comments by teachers. Oh, why are you doing that? That is not an acceptable behavior. That's a verbal comment. Mm-hmm. Negative comments on written work. Poor, fear. Do you understand? Negative comments on written work. Making students sit or work alone. Sometimes I just say, okay, you stand there, you do your job alone. So that's another negative sanction. Yes. Sending them out of the classroom. Sometimes I do that too. Because I feel for functionalists, they said the society needs to function. So if the society needs to function, everybody within the society, everybody within that school must function. So the work of the prison is to take people out, not because of not because of personal interest or personal grudge, but for them to be able to understand the importance of being in the society. That's why we are taking them out. So when you take them out, it's not because you hate them, but because you want them to realize the importance of being in that class. So I don't take students out, I take students out of the classroom, but I don't take them out of the classroom because I hate them. It's because I want them to understand. I want them to realize the importance of being in the classroom. Because if they continue to disturb the class, then the motive of the class will not be achieved. The goals of the class will not be achieved because the rest want to listen, but you're not allowing them to listen. You are causing interference.
Yes.
So you need to take them out to be able to realize why it is important to be in.
Yes.
Keeping them at break time. Or after school, detention. You don't let them go for break time. You don't let them go for break. So these are ways in which schools offer reward or sanction for acceptable and unacceptable behavior. I think school is clear.
Yeah.
Okay. So we go to reward and sanctions in workplace. And also here, another thing is this. Students might be forced to write lines. I will not do this again. I will not like those things.
Yes,
we call it statements. You'll be forced to write a statement. I will not do this. I will not. Different lines. You can write multiple lines. It's just as punishment. So now we're going to rewards and sanctions at workplace. Okay, workplace, like I wrote, workplace have rules, for example, about starting and finishing times and about what to wear. So at workplace, the first rule is about the time you have to report at work and the time you need to finish your work. These are part of these are part of your employment contract. So when you have to resume and when you have to stop, when you have to have your break and when you have to discharge for the work of the day.
Yes.
So the ultimate sanction is being fired. So at workplace, the highest sanction is when you are being fired.
Yeah.
So because that is the highest sanction. So what happens? So most of the time, okay. So most of the time, people are being threatened to be fired. Yes. Based on personal grudges, based on the fact that you don't like that individual, based on the fact that you are the supervisor or the manager. So this person is being fired unfairly. Do you get the point here?
Yeah.
So it's a way of getting back to people that you don't like. So that becomes a threat. So if someone is being threatened and as a result of that loses his job, that means he's being fired unfairly. So what does the society arrange for such situation? There's what we call hearing. Hearing. Yes. That's when that person being fired will be able to say will be able to make his own point or his own point based on the situation. Or if the person that is being fired belongs to a trade union, then the trade union will offer support. Yes. Because it's unfairly fired, unfairly dismissed. Do you get the point here? Yes. So, however, there are laws that prevent workers to be unfairly dismissed. You cannot. It is unethical to dismiss somebody unfairly on no ground. That is what it means. That means you dismiss him on no ground. You just fire him because you don't like him. Yes. So that is unfair dismissal. So for unfair dismissal, there are ways in which the society has come up with to make sure that these things do not happen. Yes. Clear. So that is for sanction, which could be the highest. It's being fired. Then what are the rewards at workplace? For reward, I wrote rewards in the workplace include promotion to a better position. That's one. A pay increase, PRP, performance-related pay. Yes. These are different kinds of reward. Bonus payments, commissions, or being given shares in the company. So for you to, if you're having a positive impact in the workplace, there are ways in which they can reward you, they can promote you, they give you some financial benefits. Yes. So these are ways in which people get rewarded, employees get rewarded at workplace. And for sanction, it is the ultimate. The ultimate is just being fired. Yes. And also they could give them suspension. They could be suspended. Suspension. There's indefinite suspension. There's suspension for maybe 2 weeks because you did something wrong.
Yeah, for the salary, or something like
suspension, like you won't be at work. Yes. When you are being suspended, you won't be paid.
Yeah. So it's like, yeah.
Do you understand? So these are different sanctions that could arise at workplace. Clear? So that's reward and sanction at workplace. Then go to rewards and sanction in traditional societies. Here I wrote, in traditional societies, social control is mostly informal in character. Sanctions for breaking rules can be extreme. When we talk about traditional society, we're talking about before the 19th century, in the ancient days. There are no laws, there are no courts, there are no police. So it is informal sanction. And when we talk about informal sanction, it could be so extreme that because there's nothing like prison. Because if there is prison, it will require people to run it.
Yes.
And it becomes a formal setting. It is informal because there's no resources for those things. So most of the time in the traditional societies, what the kind of punishment they give is almost physical. Throwing things on people, physical, hanging them to death, whatever it is. There's no status quo. There's no formality in it.
Yes.
So yeah, there is nothing like prison, as this will require people to run it and would take time and resources. So in the traditional society,
yes,
punishments are given so fast, quickly, because it's just one individual deciding and that's all. Go get him killed and that's all. You know, that's how it was run. There are no formal control. There's no something like that.
Yes, yes.
So traditional societies usually have what we call common laws. What are common laws? These are unwritten laws based on court decisions rather than codes. So we call them common law because it has been used in the court once and we continue to use it. It is not written.
Yes.
But because it has been used in the court for an offender, we start using it too. This is what we call common law. So they use it in traditional societies.
Yes.
Because it's not written, it's not formal. That's what it means. So most of the time in traditional society, they come up with public sanctions. So when we talk about public sanction means the whole world, the whole society, the whole community will see the offender and the punishment he or she deserves, or the punishment he or she is getting. That is public sanction. Do you get what public sanction is here? Okay. So why do they give public sanction? I wrote, they are more about enabling the community to regain stability that has been upset by the offense than to punish wrongdoing at individual level. So when there's public sanction, they don't give public sanction because they hate that individual that has done the offense.
Yes.
But they want to remind the society that such offense is a detriment to the society, is a problem to the society. They want stability in the society. And there's no stability in the society because of the offense that individual has committed. So the individual that committed the offense will be publicly sanctioned so that the rest of the community would see that the instability in the society is caused by that individual. So they are not punishing that individual because they don't like him, but they are punishing him so that the whole society, the whole community would see that such offense is the reason for instability in the society. And as soon as it is being punished, it comes back to a normal life. So that's what I'm trying to let you know. Yes. They don't sanction them because of who they are. They sanction them because they are causing instability in the society. And as soon as they are punished publicly, they become new. So nobody talks about that offense anymore.
Yes.
That is the traditional society. There's nothing like stereotyping the person. No, you don't. You don't give them names. He has offended, he has been punished, and that's all. It comes back to the normal life. I think it's clear.
Yeah.
So another thing we need to know about the traditional society is that in the traditional society, they also use what we call collective sanction. Collective sanction or collective rewards. This means that not only the offender will be punished, it will be extended to his maybe immediate family. What I'm saying, collective sanctioning means not only the offender will be sanctioned, those that are closer to him or her will also be sanctioned. So the punishment you get will be extended to your family.
Yes.
Do you understand what collective sanctioning means there?
Yeah.
And if there's a reward too, the whole family will get the reward. Do you get it? So why do they do this in traditional society? They do this so that those that are closer to you can always check you. Always check your
reward.
ways of behavior.
What reward?
Why do we have collective sanction? We have collective, hold on, please. Why do we have collective sanction? Means you are the offender,
Yes.
and whatever punishment you get, it will be extended to those that are immediately close to you, like your family.
Yes.
So why in the traditional days, why in the traditional societies, why do they use collective sanctions or collective rewards? They use collective sanctions or reward so that for reward, they want individuals in the family to encourage each other to do the right thing.
Yes.
And you know that if you're not doing the right thing, they need to check you, because if at the end of it you are being caught, but because of that offense, the punishment will be extended to them. So in the traditional society, do you get it now?
Yes, yes.
So they ensure that those close to you can regulate what you do. Do you get it?
Yeah, I get it.
If not, when you start doing things that are not acceptable in the society, you become a potential offender. And potential offender becomes an offender. And as soon as you become an offender, you might be punished. But the punishment is not just you, it will be collective. So the collective punishment means that not only you that will get the punishment, those that are closer to you, the punishment will be extended to them. As a result, that means we have to watch each other. We have to advise each other, because whatever happens to you, I also be a part of it. Do you get it?
Yeah.
So what are the rewards in the traditional society? The rewards in the traditional society might include giving you a position of responsibility. They might give you a chieftaincy title. Because you are someone that is, that has been conforming in that society.
Yes.
They might reward you, giving you a responsibility to become a chief. Do you get it?
Yeah.
Another one is they give you respect, they give you status, gifts to show appreciation. So these are ways of rewarding acceptable behavior in traditional societies.
Yes.
Okay. So other sanctions could include being shunned by the community. Nobody talks to you. Do you understand? They shun you. So even when you are supposed to get a title, they won't give you, they will ignore you. That's another sanction.
Yes.
They may take your possessions away from you. Things that belongs to you, they may take it away from you. And they may punish you physically. These are in the traditional societies. I think it's clear.
Yes.
Is it clear, please?
Yeah.
Okay. So we go to
Modern.
Yeah, the modern society. So we'll go to rewards and sanctions in modern industrial societies. Note, rewards and sanctions bring about social order. I said that already. And when we talk about social order are the ways in which societies and their institutions remain stable over time. The ways in which societies can remain stable over time is what we call social order. And social order will not come until there is social control. Social order will not come without social control. So the modern industrial societies depends on a complicated system of formal sanctions. This is because these societies are diverse and complex. So informal sanction cannot be relied upon. So what we're saying is this. In the modern industrial societies, it is a formal system, but it is so complex. Why is it so complex? Because it involves diverse culture. It involves different kind of people, different kind of mentality, different kind of ideology. We have the Marxists, we have the feminists, we have the functionalists, we have different ideologies. So it is difficult to put everybody together to form a social order or social control. So it needs a system, but the system is so complicated because it involves different aspects of different agencies. Okay, so unlike traditional societies, I think something is missing. The modern society, in which community? Okay, no, yes, sorry. Yeah, this is because societies are there. Okay, yes. Yes, thank you. It's fine. So, like I said, the society is diverse. It means it involves different people with different ideology.
Yeah.
Unlike the traditional societies,
Yes.
sanction often takes the form of imprisonment. So in the modern industrial society, sanction is based on imprisonment. Okay.
Yes.
So for this, we need a police force. We need a police force or equivalent to a police force.
Yes.
We need the courts and the prison.
Yes.
So that means it's a formal setting. So the police will execute. The court will interpret the law. And the prison will also execute. Do you understand? So
Yes.
we need both the executive, the judiciary, and the legislature to work in the modern industrial society. So it takes a process. So that process might be complicated. It takes time.
Yes.
So what are the types of sanctions they use in this modern industrial society? This is modern industrial society. So one, they use discharge. So when we talk about discharge, this is when individuals are found guilty but are not punished later for this offense. So you are being discharged. You are guilty, but you are discharged.
Discharged.
Yeah. You are guilty, but you are being discharged.
Yes.
They didn't punish you. Maybe because you are a first-time offender.
Yeah.
So the next time you do such, you might be punished. But before you being discharged, there would have been different cases, like different recommendations from people from different institutions that makes them to feel like, okay, he's a first-time offender, let's discharge him.
Yeah.
Is discharge clear?
Yes.
The second one is fine. This is when you are being punished financially. That is fine. You are being punished financially for an offense. So I wrote, this is when the offender is punished financially according to the severity of the offense and the ability to pay. So we need to understand the length, the weight of your offense, and your ability to pay.
Yeah.
So if they know you can't pay, they might give you option for prison or community service.
Yeah.
Do you get it?
Yeah.
So that's fine. Then we'll go to community service itself. For community service, this covers a wide range of sanctions where offenders do not go to prison, but are required to do certain things or their actions are restricted in some ways. So the offenders, what do? They do jobs. They do many jobs which they won't be paid for.
Yes.
That's what we mean by community service. You won't be paid for whatever you do. You might clean the streets like scavengers. You won't be paid for it. Then we go to prison sentence. For prison sentence, this is reserved for the most serious offenses. It could be for any length of time or for life. So that means you'll be taken away from the society permanently or for a period of time. Is it clear? Yes. Then the next one is execution. For execution, it's not really popular these days. So this is the death penalty. So, but it is not really popular in the UK anymore. The last time in UK it was in 1964. That was the last hanging case that was dated. So, but countries like US and Japan, they still have death penalty. Yes. And even in African countries too. Yeah. So that takes us to transportation. Okay. So for transportation, it means that the offender will be taken away from his comfort zone to a place that will not be comfortable. They transport you to another colony.
To another country. Like.
Yeah. So where you wouldn't know nobody, that is where you're going to be.
That's it.
Yeah. We call it transportation.
Yes.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
So that ends the payload is just, let's forget about that. That ends rewards and sanctions.
Yeah.
Let's put them together.